Hello everyone, it's Max here, and in this video I'm going to be doing the VanlifeTag, which was originally started by Mel from Pebbles and Peach. Let's get into it. Okay, so firstly I'd like to say a massive thank you to Mel because I think it's a great idea. It's making us more joined because I haven't heard of a couple of people. I never watched Too Born to Travel and things like that. And I'll link Mel's channel in the description along with other ones that I mention, because I've been nominated to do this by Rob from Redpillinmotion, and I'll link him down below as well. And just so you know, I haven't actually thought about these questions. I've watched most of the other VanlifeTag videos, and they've gone through my head, but I haven't actually read the questions and thought about what I'm going to answer to this video, because then I'll be nominating 3 people from after this. I might have to go through my subscriptions, to be honest, because most of them have been mentioned. So yeah, basically, I think it's a really great idea for bringing people together and making us even more communal than we already are, the van life community, because it's already amazing. And I watched Mel's video, one of Mel's video earlier, about we're losing communities fast, and we have been for ages, but it's time to start rejoining them because it's something that human nature needs. I'll link that video in the description as well, so you guys can watch it, but it's a very good and correct video that you should listen to. Okay, so the first question, obviously these questions aren't applying to me, they're applying to my mum's van, which many of you may already know. I don't actually have a van, but I know what van I want, but I'm not going to be doing it about that. I'm going to be doing it about my mum's van, and it is a camper, and we've only stayed probably 5 nights on 2 trips maybe, I don't know. But yeah, so not much, but I'll gather as much information from that as I can to answer these questions. So, first question, what is the make and model of your van? So, my mum's van, obviously, this is what we're talking about, is an extra short wheelbase, high top, Iveco Daily 2.3 litre, and it's a 2006, so it's the last vans before they started making the kind of new shape ones. It's still the old shape one though. So yeah, and that's great as a camper because it's the same length as like a VW Transporter, but you can stand up in it, and it's permanently stand up. Question number 2, how long did your van build take? I don't know how I could answer this because we started our van conversion September 2018, so that's when we got the date. We pretty much got it in the first weekend we got it, we started stripping it down, so that's when we started. And then we did loads of progress until about July and August when the holidays started, and then we were travelling and bits and bobs and stuff like that. And then we've been doing loads of bits since then, so I'm not sure exactly when you'd call finished, but we did the main building part, probably finished that probably about September time, so about 1 year precisely, but we didn't have any electronics. And now I've almost finished the electronics. We just need to paint it with the roller, so then it's all looking nice, and then we can mount the solar panel on the top, and then that will be the electrics finished, but that's not going to happen until springtime. So 1 year for the main build, and about 1.5 years probably by the time we've actually finished it, in springtime for many finishing touches. But obviously they'll be like, oh, this has stopped working, do that, oh, we're going to put a burner in as well, that hasn't been done yet. You'll be like, oh, I need that, put that in, you know, as they always say. My dad's got a boat as well, and you know, it's just never finished. If you built it, you're just not going to finish it, because you can add bits, take things away, modify things. So it's never finished, but it's easily could be finished and sold if you wanted to sell it, and easily. Question 3, where has been your favourite place to stay? Like I said, only 2 trips pretty much. Been to a couple of festivals, but that's not really a trip. They're just noisy in a field with a load of other vans. I reckon the nicest place was one of the places in Wales. I think one night we stayed on like this hill that was overlooking like the seaside, and then the next night we stayed in like some windy lanes halfway up a hill, under loads of trees, like damp trees, and near a little stream, so you could hear the stream, and near like this wreckage of an old mine or something, and it was nice. And I think that would have been the nicest place. I can't remember. It was somewhere. We only went to the south of Wales, so it would be somewhere down there. But it was really nice, just quiet. Some dog walker came in the morning, but completely undisturbed. It had well gone. So yeah, I reckon that's probably the nicest place. It was nice and quiet. You could hear the stream when you got up. Question 4. Where has been the worst place you've stayed in your van? Now, again, not many places we've stayed, so I don't know if I can even answer that question. No. Sorry. Can't answer that one. How many people have you had in your van at one time? That would be just 3. My mum, my brother and I. So, yeah. That's it, I think. Well, you could probably add one other person in there. But not maybe 4. Question 6. Have you had any van disasters? Yes. Yes. So we bought the van at only 48,000 miles, and it had multiple non-starting things. We had a couple of things replaced, and it turned out it was the whole ECU that had a problem, so that went back and forth between Iveco and stuff because they're commercial, so no one has the plug to diagnose it, and then you've got to send it off, send it back, then send it off because it didn't actually work when they repaired it, then you send it back, and then they say the guarantee doesn't work anymore because we decided to stop it because we can't be asked to fix it again if it does break. So that was our massive problem. It was about 2.5 months in a garage. Well, it was like a week, then we got it back for a couple of days, then it was a week, got it back for a couple of days, it kept breaking down, and then it was gone for ages, and then we finally got it back, and touch wood, it will stay like that. Stay fixed, that is. Yeah, basically ECU problem, electronical, nothing wrong with like the actual engine, because it had only done 48,000 miles. So yeah. Also, what we had when we first got it was a couple of leaks in the roof, because I noticed most Ivecos, they have the big strip, obviously, up the top, the 2 bits, and then they got a small thin one running along the top, just where the roof joins. And ours doesn't actually have that, so it got hit because it's at high top, obviously. And then opened it up a bit, and water was dripping in, so we got that sealed up, and then turns out half the van was smashed in along the top edge and just been filled with filler, and there were some bits of holes, so we got it pulled out and then repainted and stuff. So yeah, leaks and engine problems, but touch wood, it won't happen anything else. Yeah. Question 7. What is your favourite feature of the van? Now, I'll show my mum these questions. She reckons the fairy lights that we put around. If I can find some footage, I'll put it in now. It's just some copper wire LED fairy lights that goes all the way around the van and creates a nice warming atmosphere, and they are definitely very nice. I also like the pallet wood in it. If there's a burner, that'll be in there. I've done loads of different wiring as well, so you can flick on different lights in loads of different places, so the lighting I think is a good one. What is your least favourite part about van life? Loads of people are saying the stigma about everything and all of that, and I would much agree. Redpillinmotion also said the campsites. I can understand that. I've never happened before. We did stay in a campsite in Cornwall in my dad's van, that was fine. Yeah, I'd probably agree with most people on that, like the absent-minded people just going, you want to live in a van, you've not got enough money. No, I'm doing it because I want to. And actually, you could reverse that back on them, just for the sake of it, and say you live in a house, you got to pay for a plane to go anywhere, or try and fit everything in your car, or you pay for your electric bills, which contributes to fossil fuel, which is killing the planet. Just do that to them, you know. It's therefore, or just ignore them and drive off, because that's the beauty of the freedom. Which is the next part, which is question 9, which is what is your favourite part of van life? Yes, the community, like most other people have said, and the freedom, which I have heard one other person say, because you're just not tied down to anything. You can just drive off. You can go like, right, I'm off. Bored of this place, or you can find a nice place in the middle of nowhere where no one's going to find you, and you can stay there for a week, 2 weeks, or you can move every day, or you can stay in the middle of a city. And another benefit is obviously, against the previous point, is that you're not contributing to the fossil fuels. I mean, you're paying for diesel, but most people live in a house, they're paying for the petrol for their cars. So you're just doing that, but you're getting solar power for electricity. And yeah, I think it's a win-win living in a van. I mean, it's not for everyone, obviously, as many of you know. Question 10. Any tips for those about to embark on their van life adventure? Now, there's some people saying go small, some people saying go big, some people saying hire a van. And I reckon the best option is to do your research, watch lots of videos, find out what you so you get a brief idea of what you want, and then I'd probably either buy a van and stick a mattress in it, like an airbed or something, or hire a van and see how you live, and maybe hire a small one and then hire a big one. You could use quirky campers because they're like self-build, so you're actually giving yourself a self-build to stay in. And just to put it out there, there is no wrong or right van. I have done choosing your van. What van would you choose? How to choose it, which I'll link up here. But there is no wrong or right van. Like, if you feel you want that one, get that one. People spend money on a new one. It's actually just then more expensive to fix. You might as well get an old one that looks trustworthy. You always look at the MOT history as well. That's a tip for buying a van. And yeah, and then if you know how to maintain it, or you know a local garage, and if anything does go wrong, you can fix it. And if it's an older one, there's probably more parts out there that are cheaper as well. So you know, I wouldn't go for a newer one. Some people buy a brand new van. So yeah, I hope those little tips and things help. And for my now 3 nominations, I can't actually think of any, so I'm just going to go on my laptop to my YouTube subscriptions, and I'm going to have a look. Okay guys, so after about 5 minutes, I've now finally found that 3 YouTubers that have not been nominated yet, or as far as I'm aware of, and some good ones actually. So for the first channel, I'm going to nominate Brett and Maria from The Daily Wild, and I've been following them on Instagram for probably about 6 months now, and I've really enjoyed them. And they have an Iveco daily because that's amazing, long wheelbase, high top, etc, etc. And I love their kitchen, and their van's amazing. So I'll link them in the description. And the second one is Ivor Van, and he's also got an Iveco. I'm not just doing Ivecos, the next one's not an Iveco. And he has he's had loads of problems. He had to replace the engine. I think he's done really well on his van, and I think he's a great YouTuber and is very helpful, especially if you have an Iveco, because he knows a lot about them now. Especially he's changed the engines, changed half of the components from his last engine and stuff. So yeah, him in the description. Okay guys, so it's about half an hour later, and I've come up with one last nomination, and that is a little man in his little van, because I like the uniqueness and the fact that it just proves you can live in something really small. So yeah, go check him out in the description as well. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you do, remember, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll definitely see you in the next video next Wednesday. I've got a few videos planned, so stay tuned. Hit the bell icon, and I'll see you then.